Well, Penina, the summit concluded today with a press conference where we saw Chinese President Xi Jinping basically open that golden decade of BRICS development. Now, earlier he also mentioned the fact that China would implement measures to help other developing nations with sustainable development going forward. He actually committed about $500 million to that plan. Now, one of the more important outcomes of the summit was the Xiamen Declaration, which of course saw member countries condemning terrorism and essentially adding new names to the list of terror groups. Now, they also strongly condemned the DPRK for its latest nuclear test. And the declaration also noted the need to combat what they called north-south development imbalances, as well as, of course, firmly opposing the idea of protectionism globally going forward. Penina?
And Uche, one of the biggest initiatives started by China this year is BRICS Plus. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Penina, the idea of BRICS Plus was floated earlier this year. It basically involves a plan to expand BRICS to take in more influential emerging economies such as Indonesia, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Egypt, and even Pakistan. These are the economies that have been highlighted. Now, this year, China did invite leaders of about 5 other developing countries. That's Egypt, Mexico, Thailand, Tajikistan, as well as Guinea, to the summit for the dialogue. Now, what came out of this summit is a 40-page joint statement. The BRICS Plus leaders basically agreed on deepening South-South cooperation and certainly building partnerships going forward. China also said it would implement a range of measures to help other developing countries with, of course, sustainable development going forward. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the country will pour in about $500 million into helping developing countries to tackle issues such as famine, climate change, and even public health issues. Now, President Xi also said China will provide developing countries with about 40,000 training opportunities going forward. So that's what came out of that BRICS Plus plan. Penina?